Alright, welcome back to the OlimoLeague, folks. I have still forgotten to go paste the sponsors. We have some actually really big news about the OlimoLeague I'm supposed to talk about, too. We'll mention that in a moment. But, spawning in the bottom right corner of the map, playing for Root Gaming, it's going to be the Blue Terran player. Just tied this series up, Supernova. With his opponent in the top left, representing Axiom Esports. See with the green Zerg player, Impact. I wonder if... After our Christmas tournament, he just kind of stuck with green because he decided he likes the color now. I don't know, but we got red, white, and blue. Oops, sorry, on the Axiom logo. So Impact, fix it. Now, as far as what I was going to mention before, guys, we had a huge breakthrough last night with the OlimoLeague. OlimoLeague will probably talk about it a little bit more in chat, but the Patreon has actually hit every single milestone. Now, the good and the bad thing about the Patreon program for the OlimoLeague is it is a week-to-week basis, and some folks may decide one week, hey, I actually don't have the cash for this, Christmas coming around, whatever the case may be, but as of this moment, going to 2015, from what I understand, we're going to have every tier hit, so bigger prize pools, bigger monthly prize pools, lots of awesome improvements to the OlimoLeague. And one of the big things that's kind of cool is one of the bigger sponsor tiers is you can choose naming rights for the tournament if you want. So for example, if you're putting 150 bucks in a week, you can be that guy that's like, well, I want to call this the Rifkin Sucks League or something silly like that, and we would absolutely roll with it. But this kind individual, who can either name himself or not, it's not my job to do it, has actually elected to name the OlimoLeague after the monthly finals winner for a time, and I think that's kind of cool. So for example, let's say Impact wins the OlimoLeague. It'll be the Impact OlimoLeague, or I don't know, whatever the case may be. It's kind of like a bit of a trophy. That's kind of cool. I like that a lot. So big shout outs to all those who do support this tournament, and like I said, I don't have the sponsor names running on the out of game overlay because I'm a little discombobulated this morning, but you guys make this possible. That's why it's my favorite tournament to cast. Even instead of our big ones we throw our own, I always look forward to the OlimoLeague without question. Great players every week, a lot of regulars, and of course it's hosted and created by the lovely Olivia Wong from Axiom. But as far as this game goes, pretty standard stuff for what Acheron Waste would be. I mean, if there's a map that I was gonna maybe expect a 2-racks on, this might be it, but already having played that card and failed, Impact decides, or sorry, rather Supernova decides to play it safe and just goes for a couple of Reapers here in the opening. Now, 2 Reapers, I think once upon a time, was the common thing to do, right? Sometimes you'd even go as far as to see 3. But as of recent days, Zerg players have been getting a lot better at dealing with these. We see those 6-minute speed timings. As even for Impact, didn't even make 6 Zerglings, didn't overreact. I mean, the 6th are now coming out, but you know, initially he was prepared to deal with this Reaper with relative ease. So that's kind of why this got turned off as far as openings go, but 2 Reapers can still certainly get some damage done. We saw him pick up a drone last time, not too shabby. With better control, might have kept that Reaper alive. Pairs up with the Hellion Push, definitely very nicely, but we'll see where that decides to extend to, because the things a lot of Terrans have been doing lately, incorporating these heavier all-in, borderline all-in builds, be it with Hellbats, be it with Banshees. I mean, I think once upon a time, Hellion Banshee was the standard opener, but it feels like the rarer one nowadays, because between armories being slapped down and second gases being taken, usually it's a little bit scary. But oh, this is kind of cool. Throws down a 3rd command center. Now, this doesn't get scouted by Impact initially, but this is something that if he can get away with this will be really nice. Now, for Supernova's sake, his best bet might be to actually feign a lot of aggression here. You know, get really aggressive here with the Reapers. Don't back off too easily, but not lose them either. When the Hellions come across the map, continue the pressure with a couple Marines. I think these Marines are mostly to deny scouting more than anything else at the moment, but still, this 3rd command center is something. This is a Terran player's dream. If you can get away with 3rd command center, you're going to have a good time. But this is also a detriment where if this gets scouted early, it's not difficult for Impact to say, hey, remember that big wide ramp on Acheron Waste? Let's go all in it with a couple of Banelings and some Roaches. Second gas did get taken by the way out of Supernova, but we did not actually see the starport come down right away. He instead opted to prioritize his siege tank. It looks like he's probably going to be playing Bio. And swaps that over for that Stimpack. So one really defensive siege tank, because I guess he is a little bit worried. Hey, I went for a 3rd command center. Hey, I don't know if it got scouted. I better play it safe. Not super loving the position. You know, we always see Terran players do this. You put the siege tank as close to the ledge as you can. Yes, it gives you a little more range for a shot, but also exposes you to roach fire, should that be the case. So we'll see if that hurts or helps Supernova. But having 1 tank out is pretty much the ultimate good form of defense for early game without over-dedicating to it. But the 3rd command center finishes up. We got the orbital on the way. We got the starport now finished too. So as long as Supernova can get a solid wall down, he's good to go here for the early game. The medevac, by the way, looks like it's going to be a couple of Marines with a couple of Widow Mines going across the map to do a bit of harass. We'll see if it's 1 Marine or 1 Widow Mine, 6 Marines, or 4 Marines and 2 Widow Mines. Either way, it's going to be a decent amount of damage if Impact's not paying attention. Main call out in chat here by OlimoLeague. You wanted it to be the Ravioli League? Yes, I did, and I actually even came up with a sick graphic for it. Which I will gladly tab out and grab after this game's concluded, or if we have an extended period of downtime. If I was if I was able, like, straight up guys, if I could afford $150 a week to the OlimoLeague for a month, this would be called the Ravioli League for 1 whole month, and I would have a stupid picture of Fear Dragon with a chef hat on and everything. You guys have no idea. In fact, you know what? No, I'm not even gonna. Stuff's happening. We got a drop going out. Let's just auto follow this so you guys don't get mad at me for observing while I where is this? Like, can we get this pushed out on Twitter, please? Can we just, like, folks, for a second, consider the Ravioli League? I think it would be fantastic. Anyways, drop starts are going to start coming down. So one of my shot goes off on 1 drone. Good splits out of Impact. Second one of mine's going to head up north and try and get another drone shot. But with how well he handled that first one, I don't imagine this one's going to get too much done. I think once upon a time, these one of my shots were just so devastatingly scary and bad, and they still are. And wow, that one actually gets a lot more kills than I thought it did. 10 shots go off there and a couple of drones, but mostly lings. But, yeah, a lot of Zerg players have been getting a lot better dealing with this, whether it's just leaving one unit behind. Widow Mines, sadly, are forced to target something nearby if nothing else is, so you can bait the shot out not too poorly. But, ooh, looks like before going down, did get another shot off. So, up to 9 workers killed so far, a couple of lings, but for Supernova's sake, oh, finish this wall, please. Supernova, please. There we go. This tank actually positioning works out really great now. Before I was just worried about him covering his ramp, but now he actually covers the entrance to this 3rd, which again, he got down really soon, he got down really early, and is benefiting off of quite nicely. But going out for another drop. Sorry, responding to our wonderful admin on Skype. Hey guys, one of the big things you could do while you're watching, while you're just kind of hanging out in the audience, is if you do have matches you really want to see in the OlimoLeague, let OlimoLeague know. A lot of the times we try and reserve games ahead of time, and it doesn't always happen. We can't always 100% of the time bring you the matches you want to see, but you know, this tournament is made by the people for the people here in Korea. I mean, it's just, if you guys are watching, you really want to see a player. Like if you feel very passionate about wanting to see Balloon or Heart or something, don't be shy. Let OlimoLeague know. She's in chat. She'll tell him, hey, don't you move. We're gonna cast you next. But anyways, Marines are gonna get a nice pick off. They pick off the Overlord, pick off the Queen. Good positioning, forces Bailey towards that main, but Supernova just picks up, gets out of there. And for Impact's sake, he might be moving towards the 4th base, but I would hardly call him comfortable in this game. His supply count is just non-existent currently. Bailing speed is still not finished, so rolling off and creep to catch this drop is going to be a real pain. Build cancel immediately. That's going to cost him a little bit more than I think he wanted to. Double cancels go down. Going to put down another hatchery as quickly as possible, but without those Mutalisks in play, dealing with this drop is just going to take a while, quite frankly. And this, I think, is hilarious, too, because, I mean, the Spire's up, but it's not like Impact's a bad player by any stretch of the imagination, but I find this funny because Impact is the guy who's been doing a lot of these 2-base Mutalisk builds. Early layers, not expansions like this. So I think in any other scenario, he doesn't take any of the same problems he's dealing with right now. 3rd base is absolutely going to fall. Supernova, with the most annoying little Terran tactics here and there, starting to pick him apart, starting to pull him apart. And Impact is struggling to not stay alive, but respond. I mean, he's still got 69 drones. I wouldn't call him out of the game just yet, but his army supply is non-existent as he wastes what little he has on these drops. Supernova back at home. He's rallying up another force inside that natural base. That's a lot of Marines, a lot of Widow Mines, some medevacs soon to be added to it as well. Well, I should be able to get this Widow Mine shot, yeah. That one went off, or Widow Mine before it shoots, rather. If that gun off, I would have been quite sad. But yeah, medevac's still ferrying around. Can't quite catch a break here. If he could get a Queen up to the main and inject again, that'd probably be good as well. But Impact's not exactly flush with cash at the moment. Try to replace those hatcheries. Big push coming down the center of the map. While that drop does go to the main, this has to be dealt with. It's not something he can ignore. Does clean up that drop. Meanwhile, off of creep, Bailey speed's done. It's a bad choke, and Supernova was not ready for that fight. So despite his overwhelming army value, Impact holds. However, at the same time, his production is just bananas. 10 Marines at a time, 3 Marauders. He's going to have 2 Widow Mines pumping 2. I mean, he's only shy of making medevacs, and he doesn't even really need them. A lot of times when you're coming up against this Baneling heavy composition, you're either do or die. There's not a lot of time to actually heal because the Marines are either dead to the Banelings or they've killed all the others. Yeah, okay, shots, decent connects. Still pushing here to the natural. I mean, the Mutos are a little bit tentative to get involved, and rightfully so. It's a lot of Marines. Even this one just on the left side, not such a great move. Rocks do go down. Not sure if that was on purpose or by accident, but this worked out for Impact just for a moment, as will force the Marines to come out one at a time. But he's out of juice, it feels. There's not a lot of Zerglings. There's not a lot of Banelings. And the Mutos are doing what they can, but as we see, guys, Mutos are just not going to get the job done. Not in a scenario where Impact's invested so heavily in his melee upgrades. Overlord's in the middle of the map. Oh, getting caught, getting cleared. Push back. He loses the space yet again. Well, I guess the other ones were double cancels, but he actually loses it this time concretely. Meanwhile, Impact, he's still holding on to this game best you can, struggling to stay alive with a very small army supply. He's taking decent engagements, but still taking damage every time he defends. He's going to fall there in the main. Actually try and get away with that boost to get around the Mutalisks for a small amount of time, but it is a small amount of time. What am I shot? Going to take out some of the Mutalisks as well. Peppers up the rest, really, really low. Front line's got the Banelings on creep, going to take an okay engagement, chasing down these Marines, but Supernova's on the rally, and like we pointed out before, guys, his production is looking fantastic. Impact not in the best scenario right now. Oh, those upgrades, if they complete, this is a clock ticking as well. It's as if there wasn't enough pressure. Now he's racing against the time for those upgrades to finish. Impact supply is getting better and better in comparison with that of Supernova's, but still not able to take enough trades to just completely shut this down. I do like that he's being diligent and still replacing his bases behind us, retaking his 4th yet again. And, well, the Thor micro today, I mean, we saw this earlier if you guys were watching Star League. Dream was doing some pretty nutso banana stuff, but this Thor will live yet again. Another swap off of the Medevacs. Trades out the low health one for the high health one. Keeps this Thor alive. Still getting shots off on the Mutas. Good game's going to be called. And with some pretty sick control there at the end of the game, Supernova will lock down this series 2-1.